Welcome to the final round of the season for Division 2 here around the circuit at Interlagos, where Senna previously had his iconic win, where he wrestled his damaged McLaren and needed aid to get out of his car by the medics. Hopefully our racers will not get that kind of a workout today, but still get great racing. The track we are racing here at Sao Paulo is 4.3 kilometers long with 15 turns, 10 to the left and 5 to the right with 2 DRS zones. The first is on the exit of turn 3 and the second on the start finish straight to turn 15. I'm Regent and I will be enjoying this race alongside with you today. And while we wait for you guys, not for you guys, but for the guys to get in the cockpit, I'll put you guys on the standings so that you guys can have a view of how the situation was looking before today's race. So as you can see, that's the current calendar in the middle and the standings on the left and the message of the day to the right. Later today, in the middle, I will post the Season 3 calendar. But in the meantime, while we wait for the qualifying to start, I'll leave you guys here. See you in a bit, guys. So, I do believe now that the guys are going to be in the session right here now. So I'll let you guys come alongside with me here for the race. Quickly, I'll check the audio that everything's good here. So yeah, everything is sound and we are good to go. So, I'll be commentating alone today as well, just as yesterday. Yesterday we saw mixed conditions. We actually saw a completely dry qualifying, and then we saw a race where it was incredibly wet. And let us just say that even the Division 1 guys yesterday were having a big issue with keeping it on track and not doing any mistakes because the rain was so heavy. I think actually it was like you have like the different stages in the game where it's like normal, light, rain, heavy rain, extreme heavy, and I think we were in the heavy, almost extreme heavy rain yesterday. I am now looking at a known player, and he's on a set of mediums, and I can actually see him. You can see him on the screen actually getting out of the pits now, so he's probably going to be the first car on track right now. We'll see if anybody beats him, but it looks like he is the first one. We'll probably run alongside him for the outlap, as we see at the end of the pit lane that one of the Williams is also getting out, probably Axel Rose or Dan James. Does look like it is. Let me check here when they get out of the pit exit here. Yeah, we now see everybody's coming out. So the yesterday's quality times were like in the first sector, I believe, like on the top right corner there, as we do when the hot lap is, we'll see the sector splits. And I think the first was the 16 flat or 16-1 was a very good time in the first, and the second sector split was in the 150, no, it was in the 50 to 51s. And the total time, I think the pole time that Rocco set yesterday was a 106.9. So hopefully we will have kind of the same deal of lap times today. I'll just spread the word a bit of the race for a little bit here to the rest of the people around. And for the guys watching who is non-racing as well, if you guys want to share the message of this this race, it will be great. The more viewers we get, the more attention we get, and the bigger we become. As the next season, Season 3, is going to be the final season before the new game. So I don't know if you guys in chat have any thoughts about the new game. Just share with alongside with you guys. I'll watch here as now a known player. No, it was Logic. I'm sorry, not a known player. As now Logic is going to go in his first flyer here. So let's see what kind of a split he is having. As I said, Rocco yesterday did a 106.9 as the fastest. I don't think we're going to see these times today, but if we see in the 107 highs and up to the 108s, I think those are very respectable times for Division 2. Logic, though, is on a pretty good pace because it was a 16.7 there in the first sector. And really, the medium is going to probably be okay in the first and final sector, but in this middle sector here, where the mechanical grip is the most required, he's really going to lose the most amount of time. So as I said, the second sector split, which we are coming up now after this left-hander, was a bit 50 to 51 yesterday, and he is in the 52, so it's 1 second off. So I think we're going to see this time be in the 107s to 108s as the first banker here of Logic. Let's see now as he comes across the line here. And what kind of a time he's going to set. Dan James is a 107.7, so that's a very respectable time from Dan James. And you can see, as I said, with the mediums, 108.8, that's 1 second off Dan James, who is currently in the P1 position provisionally after the first run. But people are for sure going to improve as this session continues on. So, let's see now a known player. He's in the first sector. So, he was cocky enough to tell in chat that he was going to get the win here. So let's see if on this medium stint here, what kind of a time he's going to set. As we see Oddish take the P2 with a 108.2, followed by Sebo, who also did a 102 with a 102.4. So let's see what kind of a medium difference a known player has going to have here as he comes across the second sector split. Both the Mercs have been opting to go out for the mediums for the first run, it looks like. So let's see if that is maybe just to get a feel of how the track is feeling. But I do not think these guys are going to stay on the medium. I think they will be wanting to improve to really qualify as high up as possible. So what kind of a time is a known player going to set on the mediums? Is he going to be quicker than his teammate Logic, who also put a mediums on here? And it looks like he's not. It's a 109, so he's 2 seconds off the... 1.3 seconds off the pace here at the front runners, which is probably not what he wants. I bet we're going to see both of the Mercs going out for a set of softs, as this race here, as long as it is a dry one, is going to be a one-stopper if you are good on the tires. As I said yesterday, the strategy here is a soft to medium or medium soft if you're able to really keep that, what should I say, to keep the tires in the area of where they can perform, because the problem here is, as I said in the intro, it's 10 to the left and 5 to the right, which means that the right side of the car takes a lot of the load, which is why this track is known for overheating the right side of the car, especially the front right tire. So how good you are on that front right tire is going to depend if you can do the one soft medium, or if you're really bad on tires, maybe a soft to hard is the way to go. Yesterday as well, we saw the full wet tires, and the full wets as well, they need a pit stop as well. So no matter if it's going to be dry or wet here in the race today, they are going to need to do at least one stop. And of course, as always, there might be some safety cars, which means that we probably will be, I'm not gonna give the commentator's curse or anything, but probably we're gonna see a safety car, or at least a virtual, I would presume. Which means that then, at that point, the strategy can completely change, of course. So, you guys should chat after you've seen the couple of laps here, as Mr. Ankles here wants to say, who do you think are the favorites? I gotta say, personally, the guys that have been really strong, Adam, Dan, and Lodge. Like, the thing here with these Division 2s arrested this year is that everybody has been on par. So everybody has had the races where they're in the top 3. It's just who's best at this track, whose driving style is this track gonna suit. And as the moment is now, it seems like it's suiting Dan James just fine. But let's see now though, X Davies here, who is gonna be running solo in the McLaren team. He has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. He's probably gonna go around for another one. Let's look now at our pole sitter. Let's follow him around as he is gonna set a second attempt here, and we'll run alongside him with her, opening the DRS down the straight. And you want to be braking here between the 150 mark and turn in down to 5th gear, maybe all the way to 4th to get a rotation. Early up to 5th, then up to 6th, and then maximizing the speed down to the 15 board. If you're brave enough, you can do this in 7th. But you see here that Dan James is wanting the more stability of the lower gears to really make that corner happen. Oh, here as well, you can really go down to all the way to 2nd gear here, which Dan James actually does here. Short shifting to maximize here and really hit this apex early and use the camber on the exit to launch the car here out of these the final turns here of the 2nd sector into the 3rd. You really want to be hooking in here, thinking about getting the best run. Keep the car as wide as possible to maximize the speed before he's going to open the DRS at this point in 3, 2, 1 here. And now it's just the shortest run, hugging the left side to really minimize the time to the line. And he does improve with a 107.64. So that's a very strong lap there for Dan James. And a good lap for us to run along with the ride. As we now see, the likes of Axelrod and Adam has not yet come out of the pits. And I think now we're going to see Logic as well is going to go out for a second attempt. And it did look like he's on the red wall tires of the soft compound. So we will be seeing if he will be able to make a dent in Dan James' quest to block out the front row today. Two others are on the flyer right now. A known player looks like he's on the mediums. He's still on the mediums. He's probably doing a bit of a... I think he's doing a bit of long runs actually in the quali. Maybe because he wants to feel how this tire is. Maybe he's not practiced a lot with it. And I just want to use a couple of laps, burn up some fuel, get some rubber down, change to the soft and set a quick lap. We will see though as Oddish, I believe now. He is now on a fast lap, and this is his second attempt. Oh, he runs very wide there. It's probably going to cost him time. I do not think he has not backed out of it, so he is clearly going to continue. Doesn't think he's going to be losing that much time. But a wide run like that is going to cost you time, and he's run wide again. I do believe maybe that he is thinking about maybe going for another run after this. Let's see if the telemetry... Yeah, he is starting to save, yeah. And he's off again. I think he's going to be looking to abort this attempt and do another one. Let's follow Sebo, though, who is also in the second sector. And then we have Warpan ahead of him, which is also on a flyer. And I believe maybe Bob, which is ahead of them again, is also on another flyer. And let's see what kind of a time... No, actually not another one. This is Bob's first attempt. And he's coming up here. So he's in the 51.5s, which is half a second quicker than what a known player, Logic's soft, medium time that you can see on the left side in P9 there. So will he be able to be getting a more respectable time in the softs here? I think we're going to see him in the 107s here. Oh, just not. He's going to be in the 108.2s, and that makes him the P7 as of now. Let's see. I think Warpanda just came across the line for a 108.2. So he improves to P5. Sebo, on the other hand, is a 108 flat, which gives him the P4 position. He leads Warpanda on this particular occasion around the track right now. And I think maybe Adam, no, he has invalidated his lap. Let's see who's going to be the next car over the line here. I think Logic, Logic is 8/10 up on his time on the second sector split there. There is a yellow flag in the second sector. Looks only to be letting another car by. Let's see what kind of a time Logic is going to set here. He's massively improved in this previous time. And it is a 1:07.78, which means that he's in the front row together with Dan James. Just missed that by 1/10 of a second. Let's see, I think Oddish here, he is up by 2/10 on his time. And this will mean that he's going to be in the 1:07s against Logic here. And he has snatched the second position from Logic with a 1:07.6, which is a strong time. And the next car who's going to come across the line here is going to be Wrath. It doesn't look like he's been improving too much. So what kind of a time is he going to set here on this tire? It's going to be a 1:02. Just a slight improvement, but not enough to really give him the chance to make the inroads on the front guys that he was wanting. I think Warpana and Warpana is going for a second run, and Sebo is in the pits here. Wrath now, he is really on the... is he going for another one? No, I don't think he will have the battery to really set a time here. Let's look at Adam. He has put a 1:08 flat as his first banker lap here on the board here. And I do not think he has the enough battery deployment to go for a second run right out of the bat. Maverick as well has put a 1:08.6 as his first banker on that soft compound tire. And X Davis has snatched the pole position from Dan James. That's a strong lap from Davis. A 1:07.63 beats Dan James with 100th of a second. Very good lap from X Davis to put it on pole provisionally before people do their final runs here. And let's see these guys here. I think Wrath is not on a run. I think maybe he's gonna go for a tire change into the pits and then go for his last run here. Axel Ross is on a outlap in Warpana as out of fuel, so he's going into the pits as well. Is Adam XMX going to improve on this time? I do not know if he's going for a second flyer. It might look like it on that Delta, but he might have gone out of battery in the final. Yeah, it's a 1:07.9, so it's only a slight improvement from Adam. He really needs to pit quick if he wants another chance at this. Dan James as well is invalidated, so he's probably going to set himself up for another run about now, I think. And Axel Rose as well, his teammate, has also unfortunately invalidated his attempt. Let's run alongside with him today. I know right now, as he's doing his another attempt on this soft compounded tire. He didn't invalidate, but he has charged up his battery to really be launching into another attempt right away. Let's see what kind of a sector split he's going to have. He's just marginally, he's really just matched his time in the first sector here. And it's the middle sector here, which the rubber now is going to be, in the end of the session, it's going to be more rubbered in. He can really make some inroads in this second sector here, using the soft compound and the more rubbered in track to really make some gains in his previous times here. Let us see what kind of a second sector split, the split or the deficit split, we're going to get the answer after this next left-hander here on the tiny stripe before the next corner. And he is... he's really just matched his time. It's probably not what Dan James is wanting, but at this point, that time that he is now setting, like this slight improvement, will be enough for pole, I think. When you see the tiny margins between Davis and Dan James, I think this actually might be pole for Dan James here. It is a 1:07.5. He found a 10th in the final sector, a half a 10th in the final sector, and that was enough to give him the pole position. But 2 laps on that soft compound tire will mean that he has worn those softs a little more than the cars around him. I think now a known player is on another, unfortunately, an invalidated attempt, so he's probably just gonna charge up the battery. Yeah, if I would, a known player, I do not know if he has enough fuel for another attempt. I guess we'll have to see. Let me see, who's the next thing? I think Logic is gonna be the next one to do an attempt here, so we can run alongside him for a lap here to see what kind of a time he's gonna set on his, I believe this is his third attempt. On a soft compound. He did a medium, then a soft, and this is his second soft run. Let's look here. He's arriving at the first sector split about now, and it's a matching. A lot of people match their times in the first sector. He is hitting some traffic though, but Bob is kind enough to quickly get out of the way. But Logic invalidates there on the exit, and I think he's just gonna now put on recharge and go for another run after. Who's the next car behind him to do another run here? I think maybe it is Wrath and a no player here. These two are neck and neck and going for another run. Wrath probably is a bit close to a known player. Hopefully doesn't get to dirty air. But run alongside with a known player first though to see what kind of a deficit he's going to get after the second sector split. And then we'll look at look at Wrath as he runs across the split as well. But as of now, does it look like Wrath is catching him? I do not know. It does look, you really don't want to be close to another car in this part of the track. And Anon Player's flight is flashing, so I do not know if Anon Player is actually, yeah, he's getting out of his lap. So that means that it's Wrath that we're going to be looking at now as he comes across the second sector split. His previous time was a 108.2, and he is currently 0.5 of a second up on his lap time. This is going to be a very good lap from Wrath. I do not know if he has the pace to get the pole here, but he for sure is, has the pace to be in the top 4 as he now races down to the line here and the start finish straight, and it is a 1:07.7, which means that he just missed out on that top 4. And I do believe that the next cars who are going to come across the line, Adam is on an outlap. He's going to have the most. Oh, will he make it? Oh, he just made it. Oh, that is cutting it close for Adam. Oh my god, he had no, and then he invalidates. Oh, that is so unfortunate for Adam. Not what he wanted, probably. Let's see Oddish. I do not think he was able. Yeah, he improved actually by 0.2 of a second on his time, giving him the P3 position. Let's see now who's the next car who's going to come across here. Logic has unfortunately invalidated. Davis is probably on an in-lap. You do not have the power delivery here. Then we have Sebo here, who is 0.1 of a second up on his time. Will he be able to snatch the P6 position here from Adam X Max, who unfortunately invalidated and will not be able to increase his deficit to the guys in front? And it is not enough. He matches his time. Basically, precisely matches his time. Bob, though, is not going to be able to improve. I do believe that Warpan is invalidated. There's a lot of invalidations going on here, so track limits is probably a problem here for the guys. Don't look like Adam, though. He's as well unfortunate to invalidate. There's a lot of invalidations here, guys. Let's see who's actually still on the lap here. So Bob is actually 0.2 of a second up on his time. So Bob can really do can actually improve his time here a lot. Let's see how he fares after the second sector split here. And I think actually Sebo is also on his final lap here. So let's run alongside him here for his run. Adam, though, for some reason is allowed another lap. I think we have a timing issue again. Let's see. Sebo now is basically matching his own time. I do not think we're going to see much of an improvement here. Sebo does have the ability, though, to get past Adam if he's able to find. Now he's not. He has aborted that attempt. And Bob, though, on the other hand, is 0.1 of a second up on his time. And he can actually maybe snatch the place from Warpana here if he is finding a lot of pace in this final sector here. And it does seem like he has. He splits the Ferraris. Beats Warpana with 0.1 of a second. Anon Player has also bailed out of his lap attempt, but Adam has not bailed out of his lap attempt, and he is currently 0.5 up on his time. If he has aced this final sector, he might be able to take pole from Dan James as he races down to the line, and it is a 1:07.356, and he takes pole from Dan James in the last second of the qualifier. That is a great lap from Adam XMX. And that is the qualifying, guys. Woo. That was action from start to finish. That was really good. A lot of strong finishes here today. And as I said earlier, the 107s would be very respectable, and they are in the low 107s. So on from the front row, we have Adam XMX with 107.3, which we saw just now. And then we have Dan James with a 107.5, 1.5 of a second behind. On the second row, we have X Davis and Oddish. Only 0.2 behind that as well. And look at the tightness of this gap here, all the way down to Warpana. It's only 1 second deficit between the top 9 here. Then we have an own player who was on the mediums, probably wants to start on the mediums. And then as well, we had Maverick and Axel Ross, who did not set a lap time. Oddish overrated, says Hamilton. Wow. As long as he can keep out of trouble, I don't see a problem. The question that I'm having, though, is that if we wait, I'll just keep you guys in the standings part as we wait for the guys to start in the formation lap as well. Ain't player beep quali couldn't get worse. I didn't. Well, I look like one of soft, but if you This is a track where if you gotta be quick, you gotta be pushing the track limits a bit. So it's really easy to invalidate. But for the guys who's racing, who is in the chat, is the race actually gonna be dry or is it gonna be wet? Can you tell me that? Also, I haven't asked about the predictions at all from anyone. What you guys think? Arnold says dry. Okay. For me, I gotta say that Adam XMX is a favorite for the winner today for me. Because you gotta remember he was on the back foot and still was able to set a respectable time. But it is about keeping it on track though. And if you have an incident here, lose away, run wide, the deficit in lap time is not that big, and you're probably gonna get pounced on by the rest of the guys. So let's see now as the formation lap is now underway, and as we see, Adam XMX is gonna be leading the pack here. Have another formation lap, followed by Dan James, Arch, and then Davis. Whew. Getting hot in my apartment here today. Streaming PC really is dunking out the temperature. Oh, let's see here. Get a bit of air in this place. Dry. Okay, so it's dry from everyone. That's good. Let me quickly check here. Go. And we are looking at everybody except for a known player. It's gonna start on the soft compound tire. Which means that a known player, the softs really can go like 15 to 16 laps. And the mediums, if you want the optimal strategy, you probably should do them for 20 laps. So you can see here the strategy. I think that is a wrong predicted stop strategy from the game. I think we're going to see for Law, player, he's probably going to go to the mediums to around lap 20, where he's then going to go to the soft compound tire. But the problem with starting on the mediums, if there's an early safety car, it completely ruins your strategy. Just as you saw with Kevin Magnussen having the problem. I think it was in France, no, in Australia, yeah. He was on the mediums when the early safety car and really split his, really ruined his strategy. As we see the guys lining up here on the grid here. We see the guys in the back there lining up finally, and I think we're gonna run alongside X Davis for the start to see how the start is going. As well as X Davis here, I think we're on that soft to hard. That's gonna be a soft to medium on that predicted stop strategy. Let's see what kind of a time these guys are gonna be setting now. Well, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we... Oh, Wrath had a drive-through penalty for the jump start. That is so unfortunate for him. But look at the run that Dan James get down to the first corner, and he's past Adam XMX before even getting to turn 1. What a move from him. And you see Wrath actually is running down the order together with a known player who's getting shoved off the field here. Let's see how it is ahead. Bob is thinking about to move on Sebo here in the opening stages, and it looks like he maybe is going to have the inside line, and does Sebo concede this position? Yes, he does. It looks like Bob is able to come back, but Sebo does the switchback almost on Bob to come back here. He is thinking a better off here though, and slots in behind him. In the front though, Dan James is has taken the lead from Adam XMX in the first corner. Adam almost shell-shocked from the start that Dan James got. What a start from Dan to really take the pole position back, so to say, before the even before the third corner he was ahead. No, even before the first corner he was ahead. Anyway, X Davis, you can see the logic as well. He is also pacey, which is chasing Adam XMX. He's only 3/10 behind, and he's gonna probably get a lot of slipstream here. But this track is very hard to recover ERS, so you kind of want to not be using all of it at the first 2 laps and then be vulnerable for the rest of the race. Wrath, though, is doing his drive-through penalty. Unfortunately for him, he did a slight jump start on the grid. Axel Rose as well. Oh, a known player has been having a bit of an off here, I think, which promotes Axel Rose up ahead of him. That medium tire is probably a bit of a struggle here in the opening stages, but now Anon Player just needs to find his own pace. Oh my god, he hits Axelros in the rear. I'm almost sending him out. Hopefully, Anon Player does not have any damage at this point in time. Let's run alongside with him a bit, though, into the second sector. I did see Axelros light was flashing, which means that Axel has been using all of his ERS in these first 2 laps, which you really do not want to do. And these 2 are the only medium runners, I think, right now. I don't think Maverick is. No, Maverick is not on a set of mediums either. But I do think Anon Player wants to get past Axelros, as it looks like Anon Player has more pace than Axel. And Axel is just really holding him up now, costing him time. Oh, he looks like he's almost going to be collecting. You want to be careful there to not be hitting it. Oh my god, Axelros as well is really wide. There is Adam XMX does the fastest lap in the race, and this is not really a move that I think Axel was ever going to be able to defend, as the pace difference is too much. This has really cost Anon Player a lot of time, though. He's now 5.7 seconds behind Maverick, who is on a soft compound of tire. I think Anon Player just going to see the field ahead of him there going into the next turn. Yeah, they are. So, as we see here, Bob and Sebo are still fighting side by side here in the same corner. Looks like Seb was thinking about it, but again, he had to concede, and this is costing Sebo and Warpanda a lot of time, because these guys probably have more pace than Bob does. And it looks like Bob actually is making a bit of a train behind him right now, but I don't think the likes of Oddish, Davis, Logic, Adam, and James are minding this at all, as this will play into them getting a bit of a gap to the back half of the field from Bob. Look at Logic, though. He's really close to these guys as we see Bob. Oh, Bob is off. That is unfortunate for Bob. He defended well, but now Sebo and Warpanda are unleashed to chase the front pack here. And look at Adam. The DRS is now open for the first time in the race, and I think Adam just wants to set himself up for a very good run here down in the start of the second sector here. But Dan James gets a much better exit, probably because of the dirty air. And Davis seems like he has had a bit of a spin there in the first corner. That is not what he would want. Dan James needs to go defensive, though, on the other side of the track here. But does not look like Adam is going to be able to go past him at this particular occasion. But this battle in front is actually inviting Logic back into this scrap as well. So these top 3 are probably very, very, very evenly matched on pace and are going to fight all the way to the end here, probably. Hopefully for us, at least, for the entertainment value. We have actually 7 people watching today, so there is a lot of people in chat. Quotation mark, a lot of people, but usually we are running around like 4 to 6 is unusual numbers. So 7, we are above par today. So spread the word. Let them enjoy some racing after the Imola race, if they're up for it or not. As the real life Imola race today was not really, in my personal opinion, not really that exciting. It was more like a gap management fest between all the drivers. Adam is thinking about the move here into turn 1, but he thinks the better off it. And I think he just want to set himself up here, really get a good run. And look at Adam. Look at the small gap now to Dan James. And with the DRS, Dan James going to really need to pull a lot of energy here to be able to defend this move here. And look, he actually does make it. But oh my god, I think Adam is thinking about the switchback, but Dan James firmly closes that door right back down. It's only 0.3 of a second, and we have 3 cars. If we're not going to lose a front wing, I do not know. As we see Bob is making a move on Maverick here. And we see Sebo almost, I think Sebo just let Warpanda pass to actually make sure that he is going to be able to close the gap to Oddish. Probably some team orders at play here. And look at Logic. He is now side by side with Adam through this final sector. And I think he's like, come on, Adam. Get a move on and get past this guy. He's costing us time, and he's inviting Oddish. If you look at Oddish Delta now, all this battling is actually inviting Oddish back into the mix right now. So I think Oddish is loving the fighting he's seeing ahead of him, and he knows that this is going to cost them time. And look now, I do not think Adam is going to be closer, but look, crucially, the light of Dan James is flashing, meaning that he is below 10% ERS here, and this is really going to make him vulnerable. And oh my god, Adam is side by side, really shoving Dan James through this third turn here. And I do not think that Dan James is going to be able to defend at this particular occasion. But look at the lightning exit from Logic, who has made a double overtake to take the P1 position into the second sector. What a move from Logic. That was great racing. Look at Dan James, though. He's hungry, and they're side by side to get that move back. And there's a bit of wheel touching there, pushing Dan James wide. And he's almost off the tracks now. And he's firmly closing the door on Adam. And from one lap to the next, it's really gone from 0 to 100 here real quick. Hello, Regent. You stanky boys in 13. No wet? No, it's no wet. It seems like a dry race. And thank God for that, because it's producing some great racing for us. As we now see Dan James. Probably, Dan James is running a bit wide. Is he? I think maybe Dan James has cooked his tire a bit doing all this defending from Adam and Logic. And crucially as well, you can see the light flashing there of Dan James. But the GRS is probably saving him at this stage of the race. And we are going to follow this front row, this front battle here all the way through the end. And look at Oddish. He's loving this battle in front of him. And he's actually gained 2/10 there. And this part of the track alone. Let's see now. I think Dan James actually has to run on Logic. He's not even having enough battery, but he's still being able to get alongside of Logic here. So let's see now if he can be able to defend this. So this, yeah, I do not think Dan James is going to be making a move in this sector, as that is incredibly hard. Well, seems like it's stabilized a bit. We can do a rundown as these guys go through the second sector here. We have Oddish chasing the lead pack, who are very close to each other, fighting for the podium positions. Then we have a bit of a gap back to Warpana, who's followed by Seba, Maverick, Bob, Davis, Axel, Wrath, and an own player. So the biggest gap is probably Wrath to Axelros, and that is because Wrath does have a bit of a he had a bit of a drive-through penalty to be serving here. As you see, Dan James is getting a great move here, and he is on the inside line, and I think now that Logic probably has to concede this position, but Logic, crucially, I think as well, know that the battery is low on Dan James, and will, crucially, get the DRS here on the next straight here, I think. Yeah, he will, and I do not think Dan James, he is going defensive. He's giving it a bit of a shove, but I do not think that he's going to be able to keep that nose in there. Actually, Dan James is. He almost pushes him wide like we see Verstappen and Hamilton in the real-life races last season. And Dan James actually is able to maintain that first position here through this into the second sector here. Great racing from the top three here. Well, as we see now that Maverick is gotten repassed by Bob. Bob and Maverick are exchanging places as well. So these two are having a bit of a good scrap for the 7th position. And Bob as well, I think he has a penalty, doesn't he? 6 seconds of penalty. So actually Maverick does not really need to pass him. But if it's going to cost him pace, then he wants. Oh, Dan James. Sorry for missing that. Got passed by Logic here in the final turn. But I think this crucially means that, yes, Dan James is going to have GRS here on the straight. But look at Adam. Is he going to be thinking about the double overtake here? I do not think so. He's going to think about overtaking Logic though. But he is thinking the better of it. And I think maybe we're going to see... Again, Dan James is leading into the start of the second sector. These are some good racing. Oh no, I'm going to... Oh, Jesus, I'm not going to read that on stream. The chat can see it for themselves. Well, Logic almost able to pass Dan James here into the second sector. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Just a dinner before this was a bad idea, as I am already out of breath and heat is extreme right now as the racing is great. Logic lunges it on the inside on Dan James there, but Dan James is giving him the firm hand of the outside of the corner, pushing him onto the shoulder. Logic though crucially is able to hold on there and gets the next inside line, gets the most camber, but Logic is not going to be able to get the exit that Dan James has gotten out of there, and he is taking the position, which means that Logic will crucially have the DRS on the start finish straight, and Dan James also did a bit of a mistake there, but he got a very great exit actually out of that final corner. But still, with no ERS really left in the tank for Dan James, I think he's going to be kind of a sitting duck here for Logic. And it looks like he is. He is going defensive once again, though. And he does go very deep into the corner. Oh, there's a bit of wheel banging there, but they actually give each other the room that they want to give each other, I think. Oh my god, that was almost the front wing of Dan James going there. Oof, lucky to not be. And they are going to be 3 wide. Oh my god, hopefully everybody gets through this corner. As we see Adam XMX come from the rear of the pack to go past the both of them of Dan James and Logic. These guys are producing some great racing. Donald, bro, better than Div 1. Well, the racing for sure is very good. The racecraft from these guys is incredible. The difference in Div 1 is a lot of time difference, but these guys are really pushing each other. And all this battling between Adam, Dan James, and Logic has invited Oddish to join the pack. We're soon going to have a 4-way fight for the podium positions here. It's going to be an it's going to be an intense final 20 laps of the 26 laps of this race, and for sure, the pit strategy as well is going to pay dividends in the end here. Let's see. Oh, actually, Adam went really early to the pits. Is he maybe going for the hards? Because that is very early to go into a set of mediums. Oh, I do think I see a Red Bull tire. Is he going for a two-stopper? That is not the quickest strategy around here. And I think Adam, maybe strategy-wise, has put himself out of that top 3 position. That is a very weird strategy call. Of course, he might know something we don't. But yesterday, the two-stoppers, or no, when we did practice this weekend, the two-stoppers were the losing strategy around this track. So maybe Adam is thinking about probably getting a safety car, because I do not think that a double soft. But maybe everybody's going to go for the two-stopper here. Let's see who's going to blink first. Will they have the cool to stay out the extra 5 laps to get on the medium compound tire? Or will they go in early as well to go for a two-stopper? We will see. Div 2 has been played by people doing two-stops a lot of the time. Really trusting what the game says instead of trusting what their practice has said. But it looks like Logic and Dan James are opting to stay out for now. Look at Dan James. He gets a great run out of that final corner there down the run. And even with no ERS, he's able to hold off Logic. But just about. And Logic is going to have DRS on this straight. And look how close he is. And the light is flashing. I do not think Dan James is going to be able to defend into this corner. And look at that. Even before the corner arrived, he is past, giving Logic the P1 position. And look at Oddish. He is now, with the help of the DRS of the guys ahead, now chasing ahead. And look, actually, Sebo has made the move on his teammate. I think maybe Sebo realized that he had more pace than his teammate after all. And the letting each other by. Or maybe Sebo is now going to be using some of his DRS to pull his teammate along to close the gap ahead here. Because the battling in front can actually invite the likes of the Ferraris. You got to remember, Oddish was 4 seconds behind the likes of Dan James, Logic, and Adam earlier. But now he is right alongside him here. So if the Ferraris can pull off the same masterclass here, that's going to be great. Adam, on the other hand, now is really far behind. And he's going to have a lot of work to get past. The DRS around here and being in that train does have a lot to say. By not being in it, you're losing a tremendous amount of time. Sebo, on the other hand, now, the deficit to Oddish, Dan James, has actually gone up. So I do not know if he has the pace or not. But for sure, Oddish and Dan James are getting pulled alongside by Logic. It looks like Logic has been a bit kinder on his tires than the likes of Dan James here. Because now I think maybe the tables have turned a little bit, and that Dan James is struggling a bit more out of the corners now. I do not know the full extent of where. Unfortunately, as spectators, we do not know that. But it does seem like Logic has a bit more pace now compared to before. Dan James seems to be struggling a bit. It's no longer 0.2 of a second. It's more like 6-7 tenths this year. Hopefully, I do not know how long the fall-off point is, but as long as he's in the DRS, he can still hold on to Logic here and not pit at once. Well, seems like we have stabilized the race a little bit as we see Adam XMX on pressure tires go past Bob. And this is what Adam does have to do now, as he is really on the Okay. Is it better? Okay. Oh yeah, no sound, just game sound. I'm so sorry. I think I've been commentating a lot here. Unfortunately, the game seem like my stream seemed to be muted now. 113. Are you guys hear me now? Yeah. For some reason, my OBS had muted me. I do not know for how long I've been muted. Hopefully I've not been muted for far too long. As we now see that Dan James and as I said, I do not know if I was muted when I said this, but Logic has been getting a bit of a gap now to Dan James. This battling as Oddish has spun. As I was about to talk about him, we see that he has lost that Haas. And I do not think that that is very good for him, as that promotes War Panda up to a 4th position. That is unfortunate. He was really in the keeping up with Dan James and fighting for the podium, and then to spin. Really unfortunate for Oddish, my fellow Norwegian. But there's still a lot of laps left, and he can still salvage a good chunk of points. As he is on the mediums and the guys ahead, but he has to hit for a new front wing, I think. And that, I think, is going to cost him the race, I think. I do not think he's going to be able to get back up, as the level of performance in the Div 2 has been very good today. Okay, so what you meant, Hana, was that was only game sound, which means that I should not probably take up the game sound higher. I'll take it down a bit. I'm sorry for the black screen. And there we're back. It's just that I upped the volume because I thought when you said just game sound, I thought you meant like the game sound was low. It was it was very low. But yeah, I'm sorry. It's better now. So hopefully the all the audio issues will be solved as we look now as Oddish. He emerges from the pits just behind Bob in PA, and with a fresh set of tires, I think we're gonna see him make the move on Bob fairly quickly to try to recover the most in this race. Oh, and he almost makes the move there, as he got very wide there on the exit of that turn. He is now really pushing Bob through this. Oh, Bob getting a bit squirmy there. He's probably pushing those hard a bit much to try to keep Oddish behind him in the second sector. And he's not going to be able to have the mechanical grip to outperform the mediums here. But now Oddish will have the DRS here on this start-finish straight. And I think we're going to see a bit of a move being made here on this start-finish straight, as we see him opening the wing about now. And look at the closing speed he's going to have here at the end. But I don't think he's quite close enough at this occasion. But he can set himself up for a very good exit into the second DRS zone, which is here on the exit of turn 3. And look at Bob getting really squirrely on the exit there, which really invites Oddish in. And look at the closing speed he has now. And I do not think Bob is going to be able to defend this on the more worn, harder compound of tire. And that is Oddish up to the P8 position. I'm sorry. Bob, though, on those hards, if he can keep up with Oddish, Oddish can pull him closer to the likes of Maverick, who he did do a bit of battling on with earlier on. So, Arnold, can you hear me still? Is the sound still all okay? Then we have a bit of Logic now, who has been managing the gap to Dan James, and Dan James has not been able. Thank you, Arnold, for that confirmation. And Logic has not been able to close the distance to Adam on that softer compounded tire. But crucially, Adam has to do another pit stop, which will probably emerge him all the way down in the likes of Sebo and X-Davis territory, if I am correct. And Dan James, on that harder compounded tire, really has not been able to make the inroads on Logic for now. It's really early in the stint still, but I do not really think that those mediums are going to fall off enough to really be giving these hards a possibility. I did say earlier when the race was starting, the strategy here is a 15 lap to softs and then a 20 lap to the medium tire. The mediums can easily do 20 laps around here, and the hards RS do have a significant deficit in the terms of performance to the guys compared to the hards. Look now that Adam is coming out. Will he actually... I think my calculations were a bit off, as he is now emerging actually a bit of 2 seconds ahead of War Panda. So Adam, there's still let me check now. There's gonna be 12 laps left. That's with this lap, meaning that he just needs to do like 9/10 of a second each lap to be able to catch the front runners. And as the race is going progressively going longer, the race is coming to him. So Adam XMX has been really strongly paced. And I did say that he needed to do qualifying laps to be able to make the move happen here. And it looks like he's maybe been doing it, which is a huge amount of respect to Adam from really pulling this off. And look, he's actually gained a second here on this lap alone on Dan James. But you got to remember that Dan James is also falling behind of Logic, meaning that it's one thing to catch up to Dan James. I do not know if he's going to be able to catch up to the likes of Logic when the end of this race comes around. Let's see though. I think Davis here got the DRS on Sebo, and he did. He now got the DRS on Sebo, which will mean that he's going to get a lot of closing or a lot of free ground here into Sebo for the next straight on the exit of turn 3, and he's going to be having DRS here as well. And I think this lap for Davis is just going to be a setup lap for him to do the move, maybe on the next start-finish straight, as I do not think he's going to be able to make the move in the second sector, as that is very mechanically grip dependent and a very, very narrow part of this track. But Davis now 0.3 of a second behind Sebo. And I do think Sebo now is probably looking a lot in his mirror. And look at Davis, the bravery under the brakes. Like Sebo now, you got to remember, Sebo is on the white-walled hard compound tires, which are 10 laps old, while Davis are on the medium compound tire, the yellow walls, on only 8-lap olds. Meaning that he's going to probably have a bit of a advantage here coming out of this final turn 13 before the GRS straight. Let's see now that Davis gets he's got a bit squirrely, but he got a very good exit now, Davis. And I do think that Sebo now is going to be looking at his mirrors. And I do think that this move is going to be done way before the turn 1 here. Davis, though, crucially went on the white stripe into the pit lane there, and he got a track warning, giving him a 3-second penalty. Davis did not really need that, as he now has a 3-second penalty to have to work with. And when the field is as tight as it is today, the 3 seconds or the penalties are going to pay dividends. Crucially, you can see as well Adam, Warpanda. These guys do not have a penalty. Also the likes of Sebo and Oddish and Wrath. But I think in the top 6 now, the penalties are going to pay dividends, because the top 6 are kind of very, relatively speaking, very close together compared to the 7th place down to 12th. Let me see now, what kind of a... So Adam has now in 2 laps done about, is it 2.2 seconds? No, I think it's only 2 or 1.8 now. So he's done what he's probably roughly needs to, but you can see that the likes of Dan James has also picked up the pace. So not necessarily that relative doesn't mean that Adam has slowed down. It means that Dan James has picked up the pace a little bit, which does make sense, as that 10-lap old medium now probably is going to be having a bit of degradation effect. So the more the race is now going, the more the race is going to come to Dan James and Adam XMX. Warpanda on the other hand, now I was going to follow Sebo a little bit here. And Sebo has just gone past the lapped car of a non-player and got the DRS there. So he is now 0.8 of a second to Davis. Will he be able to keep within the DRS to the next start finish? And I do not think that is going to be possible in that hard component tire. And Davis does have a lot of pace, and that was mediums as well. Sebo really needs to deploy a lot of energy here if he's going to be able to keep within the DRS of X Davis for this start finish straight. And it does not look like that is happening, as he now is 0.3 down in this sector alone. And I think Sebo now has realized that he's not going to be able to keep up with Davis, who is really showing strong pace, catching up to the likes of Warpanda ahead of him. He's only 2.8 seconds behind. Let's watch that delta after the next lap. So he's going to cross, now when Warpanda's going to cross the line now, it's 2.7 seconds. So let's look back there in about a lap's time. And you look now Dan James has slowed down a little bit, but you can see then when Dan James slows down, Adam XMX has not. He is now really bitten into that lead with now it's only 7 seconds between them. And with the 3-second penalty of Dan James, that means that he is only 3.9 seconds behind right now, Adam. And 3.9 seconds on that much fresher compound and softer compound of tire, I think is he's gonna probably get the pizza position here at him, as long as he does not make a mistake in the end stages of this Grand Prix. Then we have X Davis, 2.3. We said it was 2.7 at the start-finish line for War Panda. And now we can see that the gap has significantly come down. X Davis seems to be a second a lap quicker than War Panda, almost. Because look now, he's going to get the exit here, which means he's gaining a lot of time here on that exit. And he is going to be, okay, not quite, but 0.7 of a second quicker than War Panda. But Davis also has that penalty, which he's unfortunately picked up, which is, as I said, going to pay dividends on the final result here today. And while the track now has stabilized for a little bit, I think. Yeah, it seems like all the gaps are very well managed. The closest one now is kind of... What is that? Is that a no player? Yeah, a no player seems to be unlapping himself. He is on the fresher compound tire, but now he is making a bit of a mistake, and I think that's going to invite X Davis back at him, and a no player is going through him. I think we're not going to watch that. We're going to watch something else. These guys are going to be squabbling. Dan James, on that hard, really, at this point, his hard should be quicker than Logic, but it does not seem to be happening at the rate that Dan James probably was expecting it to happen. His Logic on that worn mediums, and as I said, I did not think that the mediums are going to have the fall off that most people think it's going to have, and right now it seems like my predictions are true, because Logic seems to have very strong pace on those mediums. Dan James's car is not getting really any quicker as of this stage of the race. Still 7 laps to go, but we'll have to see. And then we have the likes of Adam Max, who is now only 6 seconds behind Dan James, which means 3 seconds. I do not know why, but it seems like Adam as well now is starting to slow down a little bit. He's still making inroads, but not at the extent of what he was doing before. We'll see though. Still 6 laps, 6 seconds after this lap. Sebo, though, has been making a bit of an inroads on X Davis. He's been able to maintain that gap very nicely, and I think maybe X Davis's mediums are going to be feeling that degradation a bit as well now. So now is the time where really their mediums and hards kind of match each other on pace. The question is, who has been good on their medium tires? The more gentle you've been on your mediums tire in the opening start of the stint, the better they're going to be now. As I said earlier, this track has 10 turns to the left out of 15 turns, meaning that the right side gets the most of the load, which means that the front right tire here is really the tire that lights up. But the more you've been able to keep that in the window of normal temperature without pushing too hard, the better you are going to be now in the end stages of the stint. As we now start this 31st lap here, Logic has been controlling this pace now for quite some time. Dan James, though, now has gained 0.3 of a second. But Dan James, though, as we said, he is already, even with passing Logic, he's still 3 seconds behind with that penalty. So the penalty, I'm sorry, it's gonna pay. Ray, please record the race director after the race. Ray? I think you mean Regent, but yeah, I'll scroll to the race director after the race. I can do that, Hannah. Yeah, you think about in terms of the warnings, right, Hannah? The track limits. No problem. Yeah, I will do that. Anyway, calling me Ray, Arnold. How dare you? It's totally fine. Regent Ray, almost the same. It's Sunday. It's the slacky day of the weekend, so it's understandable. And it's after dinner as well. If you got a bit of a dinner coma going on, and Ray Regent, almost the same thing. Everybody sounds the same. Yeah. Hopefully I don't sound like Ray. Okay, the name was one thing, Arnold, but calling me sounding like Ray. Oof. You should start rowing, Arnold. You just need to row this out of the harbor now. You're digging your own hole. Anyway, back to the racing. Adam XMX seems to have been making a big inroads now, but crucially, he's only gained 1 second on Dan James for 3 laps. Hold on, Sherman, I don't know how to race sound. Okay, man. Okay, sure, whatever you say. But Dan James has been able to keep Adam. That was the point I was about to make before Arnold called me Ray. But Adam is not really making the inroads that he needs to do to come within the 3-second penalty of Dan James for the end of the race. I do not know if Adam XMX is really... no, he has a bit of ERS left, but I think maybe he's saving it for a bit of a push at the end here. But he really wants to be using it sooner rather than later because he wants to make sure that he is within that 3-second gap as he goes across the line here. But I think Adam clearly now has seen that he should have done the 1 stop, because the reason he has to push now and stress at the end of this race is because they did another stop than the rest of the guys, which he really did not need to do, because I think Adam, as I said, he was my favorite to win the race because he had the pace, and if you have the pace, the 1-stopper is even easier to pull off, as you will be able to manage the tires over race distance much better, unless you use them all though, and that's the pace. Well, I think I'm going to go with X Davis here for a little bit, as he is now fancying a move on War Panda. X Davis crucially got that 3-second penalty, which is very unfortunate for him. Question is, will he be able... Oh, he hit him! On the straight! I do not know why Davis would do that. He couldn't just move more to the right, and that would never have happened. Davis kind of shot himself in the leg there a little bit. He's probably going to have damage. Yeah, looks like he's having damage, and that was very... not necessary by Davis to hit him in the rear there. He had so much space on the right-hand side. Like, yeah, that was probably the nail in the coffin. Look now, he's going to fall back. And Davis was getting the P5 position, but the greed there has now massively hampered him, and he is going to fall down. And Sebo is now going to get P5 surely. It's going to be a 4-5 for the likes of the Ferraris. And the mistake of Davis there is going to cost him dearly. Look now, he's already at this downforce dependent part of the circuit now, 1.5 second down. Unfortunately for Davis, he will still get good points in P6 though, but unnecessary. Now though, we have a 4.43 seconds now for Adam, and it's this lap and another one. And Adam really needs to get going now, because Dan James, look at Dan James though. I have not followed this, but even though that he has a 3-second time penalty, he is probably going to catch Logic. And even though that he might not get the official win, Dan James may be feeling that he can get the on-track win, which is always the most satisfying, as the penalty system in this game is not always the kindest. Let's see though if he can be able to... If he's going to make the move, he has to be within the DRS after the second set. He has to be in the DRS here. If not, he's not going to be able to do it. But crucially, he is not able to be within the DRS here. And that is so unfortunate. Oh, did he? Actually, maybe he did. Did he? He did. Okay, so we're going to have a bit of a rundown after turn 3. And look, Logic. This light is flashing. Will Logic be able to keep the position here? Dan James, though, is really going all the way hard into here. And I do not think Dan James is going to be able to get the move on Logic into this turn. I think he's unfortunately too far back. And crucially, Adam has spun in the final lap in the first sector. Oh my god, Adam. That is not what you need. But Adam, though, I think he still will be able to get the P... Oh no. He is missing a front wing. He's going to be so slow. He needs to just fight himself through this lap here now with no front wing. And War Panda, he is closing down very quickly. War Panda might be able to snatch the 3rd position here from Adam. I don't know if War Panda has realized this, that Adam does have the damage that he has. But look at the difference here. War Panda is in the progress here of maybe catching Adam XMX. And hopefully somebody's relaying this information to War Panda. We'll have a look at that. But I think all eyes are gonna be... Oh, Logic as well is at a spin! This means that Dan James is going to win the race. I completely missed the spin. And Dan James wins the race. What a turn of events. And Logic as well. He is now very slow. I do not know why Logic is so slow, but Logic will win the race. No, not win the race, get the P2 position, followed by Adam. And War Panda, is he going to be able? I do not think he's going to be able. It's just not enough. And it's so unfortunate for War Panda. That's that damage of Adam, but Adam managed to secure that P3 position without a front wing. That is a really good job. War Panda is making the move ahead of Davis as the time penalty comes across. The question is, will Oddish be able to snatch the position from Maverick here? Maverick has some penalties for the suspense. I ran out of fuel. That is so unfortunate, man. Still, you still made the P2 though, Logic. So it's not a complete loss. And then the difference between the penalties was not enough to help Oddish get the P7 position. And we have Wrath. Unfortunately, that drive-through penalty has ruined Wrath's race, and he finishes out the P10. Yeah, Logic, that is unfortunate that you ran out of fuel right there. You would have the win if you had enough. Well, driver of the day is going to be War Panda, who I think made it... I do not know how many positions he made. We'll see that on the result screen now in a bit. I'm going to remember to record the race director. And we have here Dan James winning. Then we have in front of Logic, who ran out of fuel. Then we have Adam XMX, who did spin, unfortunately, who was in the process and probably would have got P2 if he had not lost his front wing, with the fastest lap of the race with a 1:09.5. Then we have War Panda, Sebo, Davis, Maverick, Oddish, War Panda, Bob, and X-Lords, and a known player. And I'm going to quickly run the record just this, so that we have that on stream. There we go. And we have this. After Hunnell's kind request, we're also going to see the stops here. So you can clearly see that the one-stopper was the better choice here. As Adam, with the best pace, was the only two-stopper really able to make use of that quicker lap time that he was producing with the shorter stints. But the one-stopper, clearly the way to go. That is it for now. I think we will soon be back, I think, with the I'll put you guys with a bit of the standings here for a little bit. Give me a sec. Here we go. I will now let me check here quickly. I've closed the game. I will now actually pull up a bit of a teaser as we wait for the interviews, because sure we're gonna have the interviews as always though. But I'm gonna pull up the calendar for season 3. It's not ready, like we've not made it graphically ready, but I have the list written down in a picture format for you guys. If you guys want to see it, I'm quickly gonna do this here. Where did I put it? There we go. Okay, I'm gonna quickly make this nice for you guys. There you go. And that, my friends, is the season 3 calendar. Ankles, what happened? Well, a lot happened. I do not think I can give you a short rundown like the guy in F1, but the winner was I get it completely. Actually, what it was like, the winner was Dan James ahead of Logic, who ran out of fuel, and then we had Adam XMX, who just snatched the P3 ahead of War Panda as he lost his front wing. Oh yeah, I give you the rundown what happened there. Ankles, last lap. That was basically the last lap I just told you. So, as you can see, the keen-eyed of you, the season starts in about 2 weeks' time. I believe. Let me check here. It's not gonna be. No, actually, next. All right, 7th and 5th. It's actually gonna be next weekend. We're just going right into a new session here. So the guy in front of me was lagging at the start, lost a lot of time, and already spawned and finding right, broke my wing. Ultimately, I picked multiple times. Also, I told my team I wanted hearts, but they gave me softs. Next week, Regent. Next week, yeah. That is, that is next week, and that is the next week is also a new season, as you can see on the stream now. So we're starting off with Imola, Belgium, and Abu Dhabi, and that is basically the month of May. Then we have a season break going into June, where we have China, Baku, and Canada, which then transitions into the 2nd of July. And we all know that the 1st of July, the F122 game comes out. But we want people to have a month of, like, having the career experience, the kind of practicing a bit with the game. And then probably in August, middle to late August, we'll start the first season on the F122 game. Is what I would be thinking would be logical. Not everything on the F122 league, like the first season there, that would be probably season 4. That's not set in stone yet. That is just my prediction. That's how I would see logical for us to do it. Let's see though if there is any interviewees. Oh, there's a lot of interviewees. There's Davis, Axel, Logic, Sebo, and Warpana. So I think we can start with Logic, who was the P2 finisher. Let me see. Oh, actually, let's start with Dan James, who was the winner. So let's go here first with Dan James. Hello, Dan. Are you here with us? Hello, Dan. Hello. Dan James, can you hear me? Okay, he has something to fix out. We'll take Logic first. Hey, Logic, can you hear me? Logic, hello? What is everybody not wanting to talk? Everybody moves up again. Okay, then the next one is gonna be Warpana. Hello, Warpana, can you hear me?
Yo, what's up?
What's up? What a race! Almost got the P3 position there at the end when Adam lost his front wing in the final lap.
Yeah, man, I would have got him, but I ran out of fuel.
Oh yeah.
I was like 0.01 on fuel because there was no safety car on the race.
Okay.
And I was like, then on the last lap I noticed that there was like 0.06. I was going half throttle all the time.
Well.
Man, but I thought he also ran out of fuel. But...
No, yeah. The thing though that was a bit interesting was that the final lap everything happened. So from what, if you don't know what happened in front of you, Adam spun, lost his front wing, and in the final sector, Logic ran out of fuel.
Oh man, I should have got more fuel for the race.
I think Logic would want more as well.
But doesn't really matter, because as I did the calculations right, I think we jumped Alpine, because they scored 7 points and we scored 22 today, so yeah. I think we got P2 as constructors, I got P3 in overall standings, which is great for me.
Yeah, it is.
Could have wanted more from this race. I really enjoyed it after I fucked up my goal line. So I invalidated it on the last race.
And your teammate as well is going to be in P4 in the constructor, no, in the drivers.
Yeah, we went equal on points here, so.
Yeah, both have 82. We can see it on stream right now. And but yeah, I would say congratulations on P3 in the championship and a P2 in the drivers constructors.
Thank you very much.
No problem, man. See you next week already for this next season.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I need to do the time trials.
Yeah, because I think actually I see the because Mr. Danny Boy gave me that list that's on stream right now. And the 7th and 5th 22 is kind of set in stone because if we delay more, we kind of are missing 22, like F1 22.
Yeah, but I was hoping for a break, but I
well,
I was like, oh my, I'm gonna have free time next weekend. Alright, never mind.
Okay, well, I can discuss it with the board on Monday, and if the majority wants a break. Well, anyway, congratulations, and see you next week.
See you. Bye.
So, I'll take in Mr. Dan James now, I think, as she is in. I think he's fixed it now. Hello, Dan. Dan James. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello. I have a bit of echo on myself, but yeah, congratulations on the P1.
Thank you.
Well, that was I think Logic ran out of fuel in the final sector there. Is that right?
Yeah, I got like a notification from Jeff.
Yeah.
Saying that he ran out of fuel. My heart started beating so fast I nearly fainted, man. Because it's like there's an opportunity to win the race because I was suddenly gaining all this time. I was like, how?
Yeah. Well,
it was a good race though.
You matched his pace on the mediums on the hards.
Yeah, I wanted to try the strategy. I thought the tyre wear was kicking in at the end, so that kind of played into my hands. But yeah, congrats to Adam for the championship.
Yeah, and
Hopefully you can fight it next season.
wait, where are you in the championship? You are.
I don't know. I think I'm like 8th. Wait,
8th?
maybe I'm like.
And what is your name on
I think it was Formula Vibe.
Formula Vibe, yeah, it is. So you beat Fan. You're probably gonna be around P7, P6. I'm gonna put in the points tomorrow, and then I'm gonna post the standings, the updated one, tomorrow.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is a very good way to finish the second season, though.
Yeah. Fun. Two
Yeah.
back-to-back wins.
Yeah, and you guys at the start, you three, Adam, Logic, you guys were having a bit of a scrap there in the first stem.
Yeah, it got a little bit dangerous. it did a bit, not gonna lie.
If it ain't dangerous, it ain't fun.
Free wide.
Yeah, you were free wide, and it was like, we all were thinking there's gonna go some front wings here.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, congratulations on the points and the win. And then
Thank
I
you
guess
very
I'll see you next week for another win, right?
Yeah, we go next week again.
I think so, actually, yeah. I think so. I think they have no chill. So I think
Yeah,
there's
that's
really...
good.
So I think they just want to get it going so that we match it up, so that we... Only 1 month after the F122 release, we're going to do an F122 league. So people get a month of familiarizing themselves with the new game and setups and all that stuff, you know.
Okay, alright. Well, thanks. Pleasure being here. And, yeah, see you next week.
Yes! Nice, man. See ya.
See ya.
So, I think we're gonna pull in Logic now. If he is here, all good things are 3. Logic, are you here now? Nope. He moved himself up again. Then we put in Sebo. Hello, Sebo.
Oh, hello.
Hello. So, congratulations on P5 in the race, P4 in drivers, and P2 in constructors.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I'm quite happy with the result. I'm really happy that we got the Alpine team for the P2 in the constructors. It's a shame that the Portugal race wasn't
Cancelled.
on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got cancelled. So we couldn't challenge for the win in the constructors. But still, I'm really happy with this.
Well, it's only 1 week. As you see the calendar on the stream, though, it's probably... I'm fairly certain that already next week we're gonna just go along with the 3rd season, because so that we don't get too delayed after the F122 game.
Yeah, I see.
I think that people like I saw your team in Warpan was thinking it's a bit soon. I don't know what you think about it.
Well, maybe it's quite soon, you know, like I would wait a few months after the release of the game, because like everyone gets it, you know.
Oh yeah. You think if I was talking about season 3 with you. Yeah, we're not gonna wait until we're not gonna wait until a month after the 22 release before we start that in the league, because we want people to get familiar with it, you know.
Yeah, sorry, I got confused there.
But you and Warpan was like changing a lot of positions. Were there like any thought behind that?
Yeah, well, as we were equal on the points in the drivers' championship, we were quite switching for the strategy for the constructors, not for the drivers' championship.
Okay, I understand.
And we didn't want to risk any collision between us, so that we can beat the Alpine.
Understand.
And I think he deserves the P3. I mean, like, he had a really good season, so that's it.
Yeah, and you guys, weren't you? Is this the season where you came like joined in the middle of the season, or did you join the entire? I can't remember.
The entire season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just didn't remember. I had a complete brain fart there for a second. Well, anyway, congratulations with the results, and then probably see you guys next week. And
yeah.
Going for the constructors for season 3.
Yes, exactly. Okay.
Yeah. See you, man.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Enjoy this.
Thanks.
Bye.
So I'll probably put in Davis first, then Axel after. Hello, Davis.
Hello, man.
Hello. Did you get P6 in the end?
Yeah, man. I would be P4, you know, but I had accident with War Panda, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you had a 3-second penalty as well.
Oh, that
Yeah,
was.
yeah. That was annoying. We saw a live on stream. You just clipped like the white line with a pit entry there.
It was pretty hard.
And then what's happened on the straight there with War Panda?
I was trying to overtake him to the right side. When I was turning right,
Yes.
my speed was too. I was too fast, and I just hit the wheel, I think, and like lost the front wing. Like not fall, but there was little damage.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, because we saw that you lost a lot of time there after the contact. And we were like 1.5 seconds in the second sector alone, I think. But yeah, apart from that though, I think you finished Davis. What is your name on the
X Davis.
Yeah, there you go. I think, did you get car 69 in the end?
I think, yeah, because I finished 6th, and I think it's how much
That's
points?
8 points. Yeah,
So,
you're gonna get that. So that's P11 in the drivers.
I only raced 3 races this season, unfortunately.
Yes. So P11 in 3 racing is not too bad. Hopefully.
First one. Okay.
What did you say?
No, say it.
No, it was you're gonna be more attending the next season.
I hope so. I hope that maybe like the Division 2 race is gonna happen on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Again.
Yeah, like
so,
real life comes first. Yeah, I understand.
Man, I can be only in Saturdays now, so it's gonna be.
Well, okay, we'll have to see though. Like.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, anyway, congratulations on the final race of the season 2.
Thank you.
Great performance, and hopefully we see more of you.
Okay.
See you, man.
See you.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to pull in Logic one more time. Logic, are you here now? Nope. Axel, are you here? Axel? Hello. Not the race you were hoping for today, probably.
I was really close to getting my first points in this league. But,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was close. I think I had a pretty good strategy. It's like at the beginning, I started last. My wheel wasn't working, so I couldn't qualify. But 2 people, I think, crashed in front of me or something. And
Okay.
And then I was far enough to pit.
Okay, I understand. Well, what did you do? Was it PL? Because you did not have any spins, did you?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay, but anyway, though, like today, like the field was incredibly competitive. They've won pace. There was like.
I'm happy for my teammate though. He's 2 wins in a row is pretty good in here. I mean, it's really good. So.
Yeah. So he's he was pretty happy as well.
Yeah,
I don't think he really thought he was gonna win, but then like the fuel thing with Logic happened, and then.
I mean, he did last to first last week, so I think he could do it here. So he did it.
No. Well, anyways, I do not think you're there. Well, the next season is going to start already next week, so probably you come back stronger next weekend.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay, man. See ya.
Thank you.
Hello, Logic. I joined your now. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can, Regent.
Okay, good. I think for some reason you're not allowed in the commentating booth, so the channel automatically kicks you out. I think that's what's happening. It's not my intention to boot you out like 10 times. But what a race! You guys in the front were fighting all the way through.
Yeah, I had the first stint covered perfectly. I kept the gap, and then came down to the pit stops. I fueled the car before the race, expecting a safety car. So that's my bad. Should have won that race, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, what was the issue? Like, were you not able to save enough fuel, or did you just forget about it?
I was lifting and coasting for the last like 5 to 7 laps, and it just wasn't enough.
Understood. Yeah, because it was not by much either. It was like just one turn.
Yeah, I know. I felt it start going like near the start of the lap, and then by the time we got halfway through the lap, it just cut out, and I was like, oh no.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. I finished above the Ferraris though. I don't know what happens with that in the championship, but I know they're both in front of me.
Logic, you are on, what's your name on the list? Because not everybody has the same name on the list as...
It's just Logic, I think.
Yeah, it is. You're gonna get as much as 18 points, which means that you will get 89. And I do believe Sabo on P5 will get in P5 and so he's going to be in 92, so you're just not going to be able to get ahead of the Ferraris. Fortunately. But
that'll be fine.
You are in the Mercedes team, right? I think maybe you guys are gonna... No, you're not. There's Dan James one. Well, we'll see tomorrow. I'll post it. I can't do quick math right now. I'm cooked in the head.
Yeah,
probably you too. After a long race.
36 laps around Interlagos isn't the easiest.
Now, 15 of them within 0.3 of a second of 2 other cars.
Yeah.
I was amazed that you guys did not lose any front wings.
I know. I was playing it so safe, and then I seen the opportunity for that double overtake, and I just had to get my elbows on and go for it.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that. We were mental on the stream when you did that triple double overtake. That was really good.
I'll have to watch the stream back and see.
Yeah, I think hopefully there was a period I was muted. Hopefully I was not muted because I was literally screaming in the mic. Because I was watching him doing a move on Dan James, and then from the bowels below, you came out and passed the both of them.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Logic, congratulations, tough luck on the final corner there, and the next week is the new season.
Yeah.
Okay, see you, man.
See ya.
Well, so I think now finally says a known player. I do not know what you mean. Oh yeah, Logic, of course. We heard you screaming. Don't worry. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna, as always, now I'm gonna end the stream. As I said, and as you can see on the calendar ahead of you, we are gonna be having a race already next season. No, next weekend for the next season. And if you want to be a part of that, our Discord link, if you want to join the racing, Div 1 or Div 2, is in the description. We race at Saturdays and Sundays, 6 p.m. British Standard Time. And I'll be commentating majority of the next season as I'm not racing myself. So, until next weekend, hopefully you've enjoyed the racing today. And enjoy the commentary of a middle-aged Norwegian man on an evening of a Sunday. And I'll see you guys next weekend. Cheers, guys. See ya.